Okay, guys, today we are going to talk belts. All right. If you find yourself constantly trying to search for belts and not quite sure what to do, it can be frustrating. Sometimes it's very easy. You know, you go online, you can find a belt you want, you order it, it comes to your house, you put it on, no big deal. If you don't want to have the hassle of putting it on, you may take it to a shop and then have them do it. But there are times when you walk into a shop or you want to call a shop and you say, hey, listen, I need a belt, and you don't know what belt you need, or maybe it's discontinued. This is what you can do. All right, so stick around, and I'm gonna share some tips with you. All right. So let's put the belts in categories. All right. So we have our basic rubber belt. Okay. Basic belt, right? And we also have geared belts. Let me show you. You could probably see the gears better on this one. All right. The geared belts, right, with teeth. So I have grooved belts, which you're going to find the grooved belts mostly with Kenmore vacuum. And then there's a slick, now they call these cloth belts, but it looks like vinyl on the outside. It don't quite look like rubber, but what it is that on the inside is strips, just like the geared belt. A lot of the geared belts would have these cloth strips on the inside of the belt. So normally these belts don't stretch. Okay, no stretching here, and also for the geared belts, no stretching here. All right. So what happens if you have a belt and the belt number is out of circulation, let's say, and but you want to be able to find one that works? This is the rule that I go by. If for some reason that you don't know what the belt is, but you can find a belt with a comparable thickness, width, and everything else that would work on your unit, what you look for, let's say, for example, this is a stretched version of the belt, right? This one here. Okay, let's see, put it in the side where you can see it. Then if the new one that you're buying, if it kind of fits within this right here, that's good enough. If that's your space, if that's the gap between the new belt, the smaller one, and the older belt, the stretch one, it doesn't matter what belt number you're using, what company you're from, this kind of setup would work for you. Just use that as your guide. You're talking about roughly about a ½ inch difference. One way you can do it is you can flatten the belt out like this. And then let's flatten them both out. And let's see the difference in size, right? See the difference in size? So it's about there. See that? Same difference, right? So it's really just a ½ inch would do the trick, okay? Now, it doesn't work the same with belts like the Sanitaire Eureka belts. You know, let's say, for example, these belts don't stretch as far, but because by that point they'll snap. But if you don't get one of these and think it's going to work on this. It doesn't work like that, okay? So keep that in mind. Geared belts are the same way. For geared belts, even if you don't know the number, because there are a few numbers that you will get on a belt. Let me show you something here. Okay, you see this markings here? Okay, it's going to be tough to search for that marking. And there's no other belt number on here that we can actually search by, see? So it doesn't help you, these belt numbers. Some belts will have the exact number that you search. Let's say like this one. This is the number you would search by. You could search by that number. But, and then even this, you could search by that number right there, okay? But when you start seeing these manufactured markings here, you can't search by that number. And that is sometimes it's hard to tell the difference. Unfortunately, that's just the way it is, okay? And a lot of belts, you'll see it with this kind of a number, like something times this, dot that, okay? The best thing to do when you run into that situation is to find a belt with the right spacing for the teeth, okay? You need that because they're not all the same, okay? Gosh, I wish I can, you know what I'll do? I'll work it out in editing so you can see what I'm talking about. See, now look at this spacing here, and this is... All right, folks. So when you get a chance, take a pause and visit our shop at GM Art Shirts and see some of our designs. and know that more is to come. Different than in this one. So these two wouldn't be compatible. See that? Okay. But if you can find the right teeth and on top of that, the right width, and you can find the exact length, exact, not even a fraction off, has to be exact, like exact, then it doesn't matter which number it is, you can use that belt for yours. Because the geared belts are very specific, right? It's this gear from the brush to the geared motor, the brush motor, is that it's not moving. So it has to fit exactly that way, or else you're gonna have a slippage. The other belt, Kirby style belts. The only belt that's compatible to a Kirby belt that you can probably use is a Royal belt. If you notice Royal Vacuum, the design, the body design is similar to the way the Kirby is. They both have the fan facing the front. They both have that V-shaped nozzle and the shaft sticking out. So you can probably switch around that a little bit, but for the most part, if it's a Kirby, man, stick to Kirby belts. Don't like, I've seen people try to use, let's say, an Auric belt, right? But an Auric belt is, when it's new, it's like a stretched Kirby belt. See this? See? So that wouldn't work. You want to stick to that belt. If you need Kirby belts, you can get it from us, guys. Okay. All right. And I think that's about it. Oh, also with these guys are hard to search for. See this here? These numbers, you can't search by these numbers here. But if you get the exact size again, okay, the exact size and the exact, the width and everything else, you can make it work. But these are very exact too. So they don't play any games with this. There's no wiggle room. The only belt really that you have a lot of wiggle room with is the traditional flat belt. You can just kind of find one that works. Okay. And I hope that the little tip can help you when it comes to searching for belts. So calling a store and just saying, hey, I need a belt for a Hoover, probably not going to help you. You need the model number. And there's a few sites out there. Man, I'm sweating like crazy here. There's a few sites out there that can help you, like Parts Warehouse is a site. They're not sponsoring this video, but those guys are pretty cool. They have a very good library of schematics, not just for vacuums though, for other brands. And then they'll be able to give you a breakdown of what part you need and is it available? Is it something that's out of circulation? The only thing you won't get is like an alternative belt for that. And for that, you may want to call a shop. They may be able to help you with that because they're dealing with that stuff, on the spot, working with stuff, having to come up with solutions on the spot. So a lot of times those guys already know what the alternative is. I made a video a couple of years ago when I was stuck with a shark belt. And at that time, they didn't make, well, they did, but I wasn't aware of alternatives that I can use. Like a lot of Hoover belts will fit sharks. A lot of Hoover geared belts will fit a shark belt, shark vacuum. So, anyway, if you have any other questions, guys, and any comments or any success that you've had, like finding belts, leave it in the comments below. Subscribe, share the channel with us. And also visit our store, visit our t-shirt store. We have, I'm dabbling in making some designs, and it'll get better. It's okay now, but it'll get better. All right. I'll talk to you guys later. Okay. Bye-bye.